What is going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. I'm excited for this new build series. This is the build of a lifetime. Finally rebuilding the legendary 2AZ-FE Turbo Camry, other known as Black Hawk. So if you guys didn't know, I'm actually sponsored by One More right here. And this brand, I love their clothing. I actually wear their clothing a lot. I actually have one of the shirts that are in the wash right now. I always wear One More. I'm actually, if you guys see, I'm actually wearing One More shorts. These were actually a limited drop and I actually snagged a pair on the website. Man, these shorts are one of the most comfortable shorts I've ever worn. So what this company stands for, One More, means to never give up. Give it one more chance, give it one more shot. Even in the gym, if you're working on your project cars, if you're working on any type of dreams or aspirations that you have, just give it one more try and never give up on your dreams. Just like me, I've had this Camry, this boosted Camry for a long time. I actually almost gave up on it. And I was like, you know what? I want to do one more build. I built it once, built it twice. I was feeling like I wanted to give up, but I am going one more shot. So this is going to be an exciting build series. We are going to be putting together this car and it's going to be epic. So what we have right here is the 2AZ-FE, like you saw in the other video. What we are going to do is we're going to be putting it on to this engine stand, and we're going to basically start cleaning it up, prepping the block and prepping the cylinder walls and everything for the pistons and rings. Over here at this station, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cleaning off the crank. We're going to be setting the piston rings per cylinder, and we're going to be measuring them inside the block and using a feeler gauge to do the clearances for the rings. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get this motor over here. And now we have to somehow take this block out without damaging it. So we have the 2AZ-FE right here, and yeah, this thing is gonna take some work. I'm gonna time lapse everything else for you guys so we can get it onto the engine stand. All right, so we have the motor right here and we have the engine stand part hooked up to the back. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get this motor on to the engine stand, and we're just gonna muscle it on and we'll hope for the best. Start tearing into this thing. You don't really want to use a razor blade, especially not on the top here, because you're going to be at risk of damaging it. All right, there we have it. We have the brand new CSS block. This thing is looking spectacular. So this thing has been sitting for a little while. So what we're gonna do is for the inside of the cylinders, we're gonna go ahead and use some ATF fluid. So you're gonna wanna pour a little bit of the ATF fluid on something here, and you're gonna keep scrubbing until this thing turns white or stays pink. All right, I got the block all cleaned up on the cylinder bores. Them things are looking crispy now. These things are looking crispy. As you guys do know, this right here is the bottom of the block. So these are the main caps here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and time lapse this. I'm going to go ahead and take off all the main caps, put them on the ground right here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the main bearings, and then we're gonna install the crank. The ACL Race Series bearings. These I've used before. They came out great when I actually had to take apart my motor. I did have debris in the motor because of my turbo blowing. So this time I'm going to run them again. King doesn't make a race bearing specifically for my vehicle, but other people use them. But we're just gonna time lapse all this, and we're gonna just get this going. Okay, so we got the main caps off. They're off to the side. We are going to go ahead and put the main bearings in. Okay, so what we have here are the standard bearings and the HX bearings, which is the extra oil clearance. So if you guys want to see the part number of the bearings I'm using, I don't know if you can see that right there. And then the part number of the other box. Okay, so we have the bottom of the main bearings all put into place. They're all cleaned up. I used some denatured alcohol just to clean it up very nice. So this thing is shining really nice right now, and we are gonna go ahead and put the crank in. We're gonna clean the crank first, and then we're gonna slide the crank into place. All right, so we have the crank all cleaned up and shining real nice. So we're gonna go ahead and time lapse me putting the plastic gauge on and put the main caps on. So right here we have the plastic gauge. This is what we're gonna be using. So basically it has a indication right here, 0.001 to 0.003. Each of these are mini scales. Cleaned, and we're going to be putting them on the main caps. What you're going to want to look for on the block itself: tang with the tang with the bearings, same here, tang with the tang. back in action. What I did was I actually cleaned off all the fasteners here and put the ARP Ultra Torque lube here so we can get an accurate reading. These are ARP main studs, and if you guys want to see where that's at, it's on the ARP website. Just type in ARP main stud 2AZ-FE. We have a torque wrench right here, and basically when you buy these, they should be calibrated from factory for at least a year. And this is basically a brand new torque wrench. So we gotta go to 3 equal steps up to 65 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna do 20, 40, and then 65 in the same torque sequence that you guys saw me do. All right, so we got that complete. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to put this now to 40 inch-pounds. Wow, that actually took a lot of effort. I'm gonna go ahead and go now to 65 foot-pounds. Okay, so we have it all torqued down now, and what we gotta do is we're gonna take all that back off and we're gonna see what the crush is on the plastic gauge. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure everything right now with the plastic gauge. So again, we have in inches, they have 2 sides. They have inches and millimeters on the back. We're using inches. All you gotta do is put it right next to it, and you're gonna see what the clearance is. All right, so I did get my clearances. I started wiping it off, but I wanted to double check all the clearances. There's the plastic gauge right here, and what I had to do is, if you guys see right here, there's the plastic gauge, and basically what we're gonna be doing is using the inches, which this is the inches right here, and we're gonna be putting it up to here. What we are looking for is the correct measurement that lines up. So this is 0.001. As you can tell, that's not big enough for 0.001. Not really big enough for 0.015, but it is just big enough for 0.002. I finally did the research and I confirmed that 0.002 is what all of these are at, and I am happy with that. Because I got the line hone, they actually said that it was actually way out of whack, so they actually had to do something to basically make the tolerances close to factory. So I am happy where it's at, and the oil clearance is gonna be good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the crank off, and once I take the crank off, I'm gonna actually lubricate with Permatex right here that I have. I actually got this in the mail not too long ago. The Ultra Slick Permatex. We're gonna get to assembling just the bottom end for right now. So we're just gonna do the crank right now. What I'm trying to do is get the plastic gauge off, but I heard that it is oil soluble, so I shouldn't really have a worry about the plastic gauge being on there. Once the first startup goes on, it's gonna rub right off. So I'll be chilling. So I'm gonna take the crank off. I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the bearings and tighten everything back up. So you guys are gonna see that in a little time lapse. Peace out. Make sure you install these thrust washers that go right here on bore number 3. Make sure you put a little bit of ultra assembly lube on this side, the flat side. That's gonna go towards the block, and the grooves are away from the block. I really do like this ultra slick assembly lube. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was using a different one that was like a dark, it was like a black. I forgot what it was. I don't know if it was Lucas or not, but whatever it was, I liked it on the other build that I did, but kind of like this Lucas, or not Lucas, this Permatex Ultra Slick a little bit.
So much in the air. So much in the air.
Ooh, the camera had to get moved right there because once you're in the middle of torquing, you do not want to stop and then you don't want to be like mid torque and you let go back and torque again. But we finally have it all complete, and I already moved it, but we're gonna see how smooth the bearing clearance is, how the crank moves. Wow. Just wow.